What's up, guys? How's it going? Tuesday night hangout with the man himself, Ant-Man, Anthony DiBona. You're kind of getting that nickname quite a bit. I haven't asked you if you appreciate it or like it, but I just kind of went for it. But Ant-Man?
Listen, I've heard it all. I mean, Anthony Edwards, phenomenal basketball player. So, I mean, the
Yeah.
superhero is a little bit underwhelming, but I'll think more towards the Anthony Edwards, phenomenal athlete. Maybe I can't dunk like he can, but I'll take it.
There you go. I can appreciate that. Shout out to everybody in the chat. How's everybody doing? Tuesday night. It's actually a good segue. I didn't plan this, but it's fantastic just talking about the NBA. So shout out also to the official sponsor of the channel, Underdog. Scan the QR code, use code Philly Special, get up to $1,000 in bonus credit. And on that note, Underdog actually has a special promo that they're running for the NBA playoffs called the Extender, which is the longer the series, the bigger the boost. So all you got to do is take a play, and if the series goes into a Game 7, I mean, we're looking at some crazy plays. There's not any definitive of exactly how much percentage, but if you played Underdog, you know how much the potential is there. So boost your profit 40% by using your Game 1 token. Use Game 1 token to unlock your Game 2. And like I say, if it goes up to Game 7, it says they're 100% boost. I guess that's every single Game 7. But either way, you got some significant bonuses there. Anthony's not hoping that we have any Game 7s for the C's, but, take care of business early. But if not, get in on it. Use code Philly Special, $1,000 bonus credit. Shout out to Underdog. There we go.
I'll take a nice 16-0 sweep to get another
16-0,
ring for the Celtics. But I know that's not. I can tell people right now, just because I've obviously watched the Celtics over the years, whoever they play in the first round probably looking like the Magic, I would assume, based on how the game's going so far tonight. Magic are going to steal one or two games. It's just bound to happen. They've been pretty good against Celtics this season, so that would not surprise me at all.
Okay, all right. Well, I was going to say, you don't ask for much, 16-0. But
hey,
obviously, this is not an NBA channel, so for people that are like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? Just a little promo there, the sponsor. Brandon, I see a comment here. Josh, got to ask you a question real quick. Okay, I didn't see a follow-up on that one, but feel free. Go for it. Spilled Milk with a 2 said Howie should trade up and take all the first-round picks, all of them, every single one. By the way, we will have a mock draft coming up here shortly, so for people that are keeping an eye on it, have been asking, the public has demanded. Jordan saying Boston in 5. Yes, Spilled Milk realized that you're just trolling, but Anthony's been kind of preaching it for a little bit. We had a conversation last week. Howie spoke today in the press conference about the potential for aggressiveness and how he views the trade up, not having 32 first-round grades on 32 players, or 32 first-round grades, period, I guess. So, yeah, the idea of trading up, you kind of swung me. Initially, I was like, oh, just trade back, right? You just kind of take advantage. But he's got all the draft capital in the world, practically. 20 selections over the next couple drafts. I'm kind of starting to buy that.
Yeah, I was messing around with the PFF mock draft simulator and then looking at the trade value point charts and all that stuff out there. And it seems like if they utilize maybe like their first and third this year and then potentially like a third next year, they can reach into that 23, 24, 25 range where, who knows, maybe a Malachi Starks is there or Michael Williams falls. Like there's going to be some options. But one funny thing regarding like Howie's press conference earlier today was like, I saw a lot of people like surprised that he said they didn't have 32 players with like first round grades, but that's literally every year for every team. And basically any draft analyst that you see that puts their stuff out there, it's usually in like that 15 to 20 range or so. Cause you have to realize that a lot of these players are just ruled out just because they don't fit the scheme. Or if you think about the quarterbacks, obviously the Eagles aren't going to pick one of the quarterbacks. Like depending on how they do in interviews, guys will be ruled out because of that or knocked down around because of that. So look at last year. Cooper DeJean was a first-round grade for them and fell to the second round, obviously. So clearly 32 teams did not have him as a first-rounder because they went elsewhere. So it's bound to happen. It doesn't mean that somebody that they don't have a first-round grade on or that they do have a first-round grade on is not going to be there at 32. Like there's going to be players that'll fall that they'll have a high grade on.
I think also the thing that I've had to remind myself of is, and again, we're going to do the mock draft. I released a video previously. Look, I appreciate the back and forth. I texted you about it. Sometimes if it gets a little bit, how do we say, not agree to disagree, little disrespectful, rude commentary. That's a little bit much for me, but I understand people heated emotions and all that. Um, I think I have to remind myself though at times of like the mock draft simulators are just that. They're mock draft simulators. And so we can play this game in a vacuum and go like, oh yeah, let's try this one out this time. Let's see how this works. Or we have a good idea because the mock draft simulator is like, okay, this player, average draft position, ranking, all that. So you're like, well, he's about 77. So even if I'm chancing it, I can wait till 68-ish and then like, draft this player. That's not how real life plays that. Like how many times we go into the draft, we're like, what on earth is happening? Or, Jalen Carter falls to the Eagles. Quinton Mitchell falls to the Eagles. Nolan Smith falls to the Eagles. Like all the Cooper DeJean that you mentioned falls to the Eagles. There's so many instances of that. And you could flip it as well. You have players that go early that you're like, man, I thought they were going to take longer. So that is the beauty of the draft. Nobody knows anything, honestly. At the end of the day, it's a guessing game. We can do educated guesses. But I love it. I'm right there with you. Not to the complete extreme like you are. So you're the sick psycho in a good way for the draft. And I don't have the knowledge that you do. So kudos to that. Eagle One, shout out to you. You've gifted 20 Philly Special Show memberships. Let's go. 20 people just got that. Matt, you're the man. Absolutely the man. Can't thank you enough. Brandon, with a question from a second ago, said, so who is your least and favorite NFL teams except the Eagles and the NFC East? And also, can we do a random giveaway? That's like, you said one question. That's 3 questions, sir. That is who's my least and favorite NFL teams except so. But then take out the Eagles, take out the NFC East. So that's I don't know. That's a really insightful, deep question there that I haven't given a lot of thought to, honestly. Least and favorite NFL teams except the Eagles and the NFC East. Gosh, I don't know, man. The Chiefs. Can I jump in with a random? Least favorite Chiefs? Yeah, feel free. Yeah, jump in with a.
So least favorite is Chiefs just because we saw them win all the time.
Yeah.
So obviously that feels like pretty obvious. But my favorite, and this is going to be weird because it kind of dates back to like early 2000 or maybe around there Madden games. For some reason, the Bengals were my team in those games. And
yeah,
it was like Carson Palmer, AJ Green, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. Like, I don't know why, but
TJ
I remember those
Houshmandzadeh.
teams. So yeah, so the Bengals. This is like a little bit after Chad Johnson, I think. So yeah, but for some reason that team's always stuck out to me. And like if I had to choose another team, like they would be my favorite.
Okay, I can appreciate that. Honestly, I would probably say the Packers. Like,
we know why.
Family ties, and like okay, there's some reasons for it, I suppose. But yeah, if I just say other team, I'll go with the Packers. And then the least for the Chiefs. But I don't. I hadn't thought about that one, ever quite, because it's like you also cut the legs from out from under me. It's like, who's the least favorite? Oh, but you can't say the Cowboys, and then I can't say obviously the Eagles.
I could have given you 3 very easily least favorite teams.
I just say then okay, just say no to those. So we just move on beyond that. But Brandon, for the random giveaway, honestly, we've got plenty of giveaways. I didn't have anything planned as of right now, but stay tuned. We'll have something soon. I'll just say that we do have the Cooper DeJean signed helmet. So for people that are wanting this one, we're about 1,000 subscribers away. So once it gets to 125,000, we're gonna give this thing away to some subscriber, and they'll get the Cooper DeJean. I also, little teaser, I got the those like Super Bowl helmets that are the like they're the memorabilia, but they're like the commemorative Super Bowl helmets. So that's the Eagle logo on one side and the Super Bowl helmet, and the other has got the scores. So the Saquon Barkley signed one came in, and so that eventually will be given away. But we got the Cooper DeJean one first.
I'm telling you, you guys don't appreciate Josh enough. These giveaways
are stop.
Crazy. Our giveaway tonight is a wonderful mock draft for everybody to enjoy.
Yes, there you go. Yes. Before we get into the mock draft, we should also mention, or I should mention here, to give you a little shout out, Wyatt Millham, and I'm trying to find the tweet here so I can also put that on the screen at the same time as I'm talking about it, but you broke the news with a top 30 visit. So shout out to you.
Thank you. I was not able to get one last year. I don't believe I reported one last year, But the year before that, I was the first to report Kelee Ringo. So the last time I reported the top 30 visit,
Hey
the
now.
Eagles drafted that player. So maybe keep your eye on Wyatt Millen this time around.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Hey, I mean, top 30 visit, formal meeting at the combine,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
over an 8.0 RAS. So, I mean, he's checking all the boxes.
He is. And people, let me just say this too. If you're not, this is like the constant every time reminder, but really, if you are not, you should be following Anthony on X, on
Appreciate
Twitter, at DiBona NFL. Anthony wrote an incredible piece talking about the relative athletic score. And I use those clips in almost every single video when I talk about prospect, because I think it's just such a great idea of like, and here's the thing, even if you don't buy into the relative athletic score completely, you should, because Anthony had incredible reasons in the article. But even if you don't, if nothing else, it's a level or it's a standard way to grade prospects. Because otherwise we're going like, well, he did that, he did this, but there's all different gradings. At least you have the same standard that prospects are graded on, and you can say, okay, well, technically speaking, if we're looking at their athleticism, that's where they scored. And we've seen that the Eagles, I mean, practically draw from that every single time of drafting athletes or leaning towards, if there's a question one versus the other, they're going to go with the athletic player in the draft. But yeah, there you go. Wyatt Millen, as they see, 8.08. Got the visit, as you said.
And one note with him, though, is actually a lot of people think he's going to play guard in the NFL. And if you go to the RAS website, you could actually change the player's position. And if you do that, I believe he has an RAS of like 9.2 or something like that. So it's like his numbers are even more impressive if you like compare him to other guards, because it's all, given the name, it's the relative athletic score. So it's relative to that position. So right now, the one that you have displayed is basically all those measurements against other offensive tackles. But if those measurements are placed against other guards, he kind of stands out a little bit more. So considering that's probably what the position he'll be playing in the NFL, that's pretty notable.
Yeah, the short arms. I think the biggest takeaway that I was reading, the short arms for him potentially moved to the guard. But that's interesting. I didn't even pay attention or even realize that for the guard. So just full of those. You're full of draft nuggets and everything else that people, to the casual observer, people that are not aware. We appreciate that. Steve Smith. I don't know if this is the wide receiver or if this is just a Steve Smith, but shout out Steve for the 5. Says Lewis Steen, the most forgotten former first-round Georgia safety that's actually on the roster. Well, considering that we only have one former first-round Georgia safety on the roster right now, yeah, I would say so. It's a very clear distinction, but
there's a lot of hype, I feel like. Well, not a lot of hype, but I feel like a lot of people keep bringing him up whenever it's like the safety discussion with Sidney Brown or whatever else. I'm just like, he hasn't really shown anything yet. I don't know if it's just like fair to kind of just project him as a starter or that he's even going to be in the competition. I feel like he should be more focused on earning a roster spot because he was pretty much a practice squad player all of last season. So that should be his number one priority, is like focusing on just playing special teams probably and like a depth safety before we even think about him being a starter.
That's fair. Yeah. And not writing him off. We're definitely not writing him off, but just like you say, he's let's take it one step at a time. Let's not just go ahead and say, well, the dude wasn't able to see the field. He hasn't really done much so far up to this point, but he could. He totally could. He's a Philly dog, so he's got that extra part for him. Maybe there's Malachi Starks. Do the Eagles draft a safety in the first round for the first time ever? We've never done it before, but we've had other things that we, maybe not never, but we were kind of like, oh, they won't do that. It's just not going to happen. And then they have. So there's a chance. Trenton Wright with the 2 did say trade up for Warren. Anthony is the GOAT. I agree with the second part. The first part, we're going to have to agree to disagree. That's a massive trade up for Tyler Warren.
They could trade up for him. You just won't be picking for about the next 2 to 3 years. So it's just that's a massive leap. So, I mean, to make from probably 32 to 7 or whatever, 6, wherever he's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, if he gets past the Jets and then he gets past the Colts and then he gets past the Chargers, maybe like at 23 or 24. But
all right.
I mean, that's Tyler Warren's too. Like, honestly, he's like a flawless prospect, both on the field, off the field. It's just like he can do it all. So I don't imagine him falling.
Unfortunately, agreeing with you on that one. But and then the exponential leap beyond that, because every once in a while there's people that'll throw out Abdul Carter, and that would be, if you're not going to draft for a couple years, then you won't draft for a decade. But you could get Abdul Carter, so it's not impossible. Teams might go, I'm not sure what they're doing here, but they do have Abdul
Imagine
Carter.
that we're watching the draft first night, all of a sudden, like first pick Cam Ward, second pick Eagles on the clock. You're like, wait a second, hold up.
Hang on, what just happened? Yeah, it's like, who else did they trade away? And there's draft picks, a player, somebody like
a stake in the franchise.
A lot of other things that just happened. Yeah, hang on. Let's see. Eagle 1, Matt with the member for 17 months, the breed of one tier, says, we doing a mock draft this year and go Birds. We are. Yes. Did the recorded mock draft previously, but we're about to jump into a mock draft here. Just getting to some of the chats and super chats before we hop in. Let's see. Oh, Trenton's doubling down on the Tyler Warren. Says, Howie has pulled off harder stunts. Somebody back me up. I mean, has Howie pulled off, you should say the Carson Wentz, like he's gotten a lot for some other guys. You're like, man, how in the world was he able to, but there's just a certain amount of compensation that comes with trading up a certain amount of picks too. So like Anthony was saying, you could do it, but then you're hamstrung. You're handicapping yourself so much by trading away those picks. Tyler with a 10, appreciate that, Tyler, says, have an absolute hot take. Here we go. If he's there, I want the Eagles to draft Luther Burden III. It's my Mizzou bias talking, but he's the perfect wide receiver 3 for us. And if Dallas is leaving, and then he kind of just ends it right there. So that's kind of where the thought trails off. Thoughts on drafting Luther Burden that early?
I mean, it might sound crazy, but if there was like a wild card position that I feel like everybody's talking about, like the trenches, obviously, and like safety, cornerback. But if there was like a wild card position for the Eagles to take earlier than people expect, I feel like it might be wide receiver, because obviously they traded for Jahan Dotson. Things didn't he obviously didn't get the targets that people expected or whatever. Like he really didn't have to do much because of the situation he was in. But he is going into the final year of his deal. If I'm assuming they're not going to pick up a 5th-year option, but. So if they only have 1 year left to him, I saw a couple of mock drafts that have like Emeka Ibuka going to the Eagles at 32 if he falls there. It might just be a point where like if the value is too good and they do have him rated as one of those 15 or 20 guys with a first round grade, it might seem crazy, but when you're paying AJ Brown and Devontae Smith already so much money, it might be good to have that guy for 4 or 5 years making next to nothing next to them. But at the same time, it's like you have so many other positions that you need to fill. It's just like, I don't see it happening, but if there is going to be a pick that kind of surprises everybody, I think it would be like a wide receiver. That would probably be where they get a little crazy for me.
Yeah, that would be that would be a shocker. Like the talent level, sure, I could get behind just the talent. It was okay, great. Hey, let's just do another playmaker, someone who can change the offense or help it more. But like we said too, there's only so many guys to get the ball to, and you add another one there, you say, well, hey, there was, and again, see, I guess who's on the board. But if you have a Trey Amos, a Maxwell Hairston, which the Eagles haven't brought Luther Burden in for a visit, so that, historically speaking, over the last couple of years, would say that's not going to happen. But Howie could surprise people if he's there and available. So
unless there are 6 unknown top 30 visits who are all with wide receivers and tight ends that they're trying to...
That's actually a good point you bring up, because I think you tweeted it first, if I'm not mistaken, about the tomorrow being April 16th, the last day that they could have visits. Now that's bringing them in, so you still could get others that announced later, being like, oh hey, they brought in so and so for top 30. I am extremely hopeful. I will just say this, because there's several names. It's not like, I don't think that anyone thinks this. It's not like they didn't use those visits. It's not like we got 24-ish guys. Like, nah, we're good. Like, they definitely used all the 30 visits. I am just praying and hoping that like Walter Nolan was one of those guys that, I mean, who can we throw in? Who else has not been in?
One of the tight ends, Mason Taylor.
Yes, please. Yeah, we've had no tight end.
Like
please, somebody. I mean, you could bring in anyone, any one of them, or all of them, right? Just bring in all the tight ends and say, hey, we're doing top 30. Even though asked about Dallas Goedert today, and he's like, well, the draft is separate from what else we're doing. He's a very PC answer, and I can understand and appreciate it. But I'm also like, it is a separate entity, but it's also completely not. You're definitely roster building and going, oh, we might not have Dallas Goedert, so there's a chance we should go out there and take a tight end. But
Yeah, we're definitely not thinking about Dallas Goedert, but we added 2 tight ends in free agency, and come on.
No, and the draft doesn't play a factor in this at all. So we're
Well,
going to be good.
One more note on the top 30 visits. I tweeted about it. I don't know if you saw it, but Syracuse running back LaQuint Allen was posted 2 pictures at the NovaCare complex today, but I'm 99.9% sure, and you know my history with percentages, but I'm pretty sure it's a local visit because the rule is a player that grew up within 50 miles of the team's headquarters, so NovaCare complex, and he grew up in Millville, New Jersey, which is 44 miles. I did not look this up on my Maps app on my phone like a sicko, but he is 44 miles from NovaCare complex, so that would not count as a top 30 visit. It would qualify as a local visit. And also, Boston College edge rusher Donovan Ezeiruaku, who previously was reported as a top 30 visit, he actually grew up just 22 miles from the NovaCare complex. So I don't think his counted against the top 30 either. So that might mean we have 7 visits that weren't reported and not 6.
Okay. So that even makes it more interesting. The fact that in this day and age, 7 visits have not. Again, we could get like 2, 3 more, maybe all 7 that are announced before the draft because there's still time, right? It's a week and a half-ish, a little bit less for draft night. But the fact that those have not been announced yet is actually incredibly impressive, if we're being honest. So
I know last year was a mess in terms of like reported visits because I think I had like 32 on my tracker, which obviously is not possible. But there were like, I think 5 or 6 of them that had like disputed reports. So like earlier in the process, it was reported as like a scheduled visit, but then later on, either the player decided to go to a different team that day and they couldn't work something out, or they just couldn't make things work. But this year, we don't even have that amount. And I think back in 2023, I'm trying to pull up my tracker from that year, but I think it was a relatively low number, similar to this year too. So the last year was kind of more of an outlier. I don't think you usually see 28, 29. And there was a year that we found out about Tyler Steen's visit after the fact. He actually said it in his introductory press conference. He was like, oh, well, when I visited here, where that wasn't previously reported. So
sometimes under wraps, which is probably a good thing. I mean, if you can, if at all possible. I don't know if you tell the prospect, like, hey, just don't tweet anything out. Don't take pictures. Don't post to your Instagram. Like, just keep it all under wraps. We don't want anybody to know that you've been here. We're trying to draft you. And he says, they visited in disguise. Maybe some of them. Yeah. It's like, who is that player? Fly Eagles Fly with a 2. So I still think Howie has something up his sleeve. Well, sure. I mean, draft night, he's going to trade. Like, he's going to trade multiple times. Does he trade up? Who is that for? There's always an instance where he surprises people. It's just like, to what magnitude are we talking about? Is it kind of like, oh, hey, that's interesting? Or is it like one of those total shockers, as Tyler was suggesting earlier with his Luther Burden, as he also responds again with a super chat, says, at least I'm planting that seed. We could finally be good at wide receiver screens.
I just checked my tracker from 2023. 25 visits were reported that year.
Okay, 25.
So we're right around the same area this year.
Basically on pace.
Yeah.
So maybe none of the others. Tyler with a 10. Again, we're about to jump into the mock draft, but I'm getting to the super chats. But Tyler, appreciate that. Says, I've been here longer than 2 months, LOL. But I love Starks, man. But if there was a way to get Michael Williams, beast of a player, and he's a Philly dog. Thoughts on that? I don't know if that's possible. I mean, again, like, how much are we... He's going to be... he is there on draft night, right? Like, he's one of those. I saw the 17 players that you reposted. Yes. So that's... Let me see if I can find that. I'll put up. Because that would be your list if we're going to go based off of historical trends. There'll probably be a few others that have not been announced yet. But where is that?
But I did mention Michael Williams as, I think the last time we recorded that, regarding like a potential trade up, that him, because there are mock drafts where he falls into like the early 20 range. If he gets past like the Panthers, the Falcons, like those pass rusher needy teams, where like he might fall a little bit. So There are some people that think he's more of like a 4-3 base defensive end. That's like more of a better fit for him. But I think you just put him with all these other former Georgia players that he has relationships with and things like that. I feel like an athlete like that, a guy with that size and has athletics, like everything that he can do, I just feel like you like get him in the building and figure it out. And same thing with Malachi Starks and some other guys that I mentioned last time.
Yeah. I mean, I would love it. He's just one of those that there's some players that I just can't really talk myself into be like, oh, he'll be available. Like there's a chance. And then there's others that I'm like, oh yeah, hey, there's definitely a possibility, right? He could just fall further. Like Trey Amos, every single mock draft. Again, it's probably the mock drafts that are doing this to me because I can go into it. It's like the Ezeiruaku Cooper last year. I'm like, hey, I don't even need to worry. I can get Ezeiruaku Cooper every single draft. I don't need a linebacker anywhere else. I know exactly where I can pick him. It's just, it ebbs and flows. So yeah, he is definitely all reliable whenever it comes to, okay, I'll be in this spot. Is he going to be available? It also feels like Walter Nolan is most of the time, the vast majority of the time is taken by Kansas City right before. So because I'm like, oh, hang on. Maybe this time it's like, dang it, every single time Kansas City takes him. So you got to trade up in front, trade with Buffalo, go get him.
Yeah, there was like a recent mock. I forget who it was. I think I saw it today where it was like Malachi Starks to the Ravens and then Walter Nolan to the Chiefs. And like everybody or Donovan Ezeiruaku was to like the Bills or something. It's like everybody that's linked to the Eagles or that Eagles fans just want. It's like boom, 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 right before them. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But that's the beauty of the draft, right? Because like last year, nobody thought Michael Penix was going to go where he went. And then that kind of just shook everything up because now people just start falling. And like, teams that were going to take a corner didn't, and now Quinyon Mitchell fell right in the Eagles' lap. It's just like, it's crazy. What one pick can kind of change everything.
Nothing is impossible. We'll say that. John M. What's up, John? Go Birds. That is all. That's really all you need to say. Anish with the, I didn't see a comment, but Anish with the member for 13 months. War Penguin giving me Malachi Starks. He's from Georgia and has a cool name. Well,
and number 24 is available,
cool
right? It's all
names.
About looking good, playing good. Get your jersey number.
Might as well, yeah. You get Kelee, Ringo, Eli Ricks, Malachi Starks right after that, 22, 23, 24. And it fits beautifully.
Hey now.
There we go. I think I need to make another T-shirt. We were talking about that.
Yes.
Would
anybody buy a Hey Now shirt if Josh made them? I need to know this.
If you're like,
because I personally want one.
Two people. Like, hey now.
I saw somebody comment in a recent video. They said, "Hey now," all caps.
Did they really?
Yeah. Listen, it's catching on.
It's I don't know. It's like a nervous tick. I don't know what it is. I'm like, all right, fill the void with saying something.
It's the best.
The best. Okay, let's how about we do? Let's jump into the mock draft because people are making comments of these and players. Like Kramer with the Eagles will pick Ezeiruaku Cooper with pick 32. Somehow Josh will get him in a mock draft even though he was drafted last year. His name pops back up. We're like, hey, look, there he is. There's a few comments for the Hey Now.
See, I got you. There we go. The people like the Hey Now.
I don't.
I
appreciate the support. I mean, come on. What's the enticing part? Is you see Hey Now on a T-shirt? Like, I don't know. I guess you could say the same thing about Let's Run It, but like,
you got the little hit on the sleeve that people know. You know,
that's true. I suppose.
My camera just get blurry.
It has actually. We've gone to.
Oh no.
We've gone to Sam Darnold playoff vision.
Oh no, that's not good. Let's see if
we can come back.
Should I leave and come back? I think I should do that.
Possibly, yeah. It usually fixes it once you do that.
Yes, I got
you. John, I will buy anything. I appreciate that. Owen, Josh is just my face with a Hey Now. Okay. That's a bit. Nobody wants my face on. There we go.
Here we go. All right.
Much better.
See, I got too excited with the Hey Now. I was moving
I know. People are going. Owen's like, just put Josh's face on it with Hey Now. That'd be perfect. That, just like the big mugshot right here. It's a Hey Now.
Listen, I got a little connection at Breaking Tea. I'll get that worked on and put out real quick.
This is Chris has got a good comment here too. It says, "Hey Now is Josh's speak for what the F," and I'm not going to say the actual word there, but like, I don't think that's actually my go-to for it. Mine would be like, oh my gosh. I think during the
It's
streams,
like
whenever it's like, oh my gosh, like that's my go-to.
I think Hey Now is more of like a you don't want to get too excited, but it like excites you a little bit. So you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hey
It's
Now,
kind of like you're onto
you know,
something here. I kind of like that, but
I like that idea.
yeah, yeah, that's
All right,
fair.
should I share my screen now or?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Michael, I don't know why you deleted Chris's message. Don't. It didn't have to be done. He didn't actually drop it, but all right, let's get into it. Let me make sure I have this thing figured out because we were technical difficulties beforehand. Because I don't know how to operate this thing and get all the screen shares. So we've got that. We got the draft. There's one. There's two. Okay. I think we got it. I think we've got
We're looking good.
yeah. I could see both of us here. We got the draft up for people. This should work.
Alrighty.
Let's go. All right. So how are we gonna do this thing? 7 rounds.
I think 7 rounds, obviously with the Eagles.
Yep.
These are the standard settings for the advanced settings. I don't know if you want to mess with it a little bit or what the people want. You let me know, or they can let me know.
I feel like we could do standard.
Just standard. Okay. Speed's good where it's at. Should I make it a little faster, a little slower?
Maybe let's start out slow because we can always change it once we get into it. But like for the first round, so we can kind of see and react to the picks. So maybe like all the slowest speed, honestly, because like we'll just see.
I'm a lunatic, and I usually have it set to turbo, so this is all different to me.
Oh, okay. You see, no, I'm trying to count cards here. I'm trying like, oh hey, so and so got picked. Okay, so let's see how this thing plays out. But I like it.
I'm just get to 32. Let me see, and then I'll work from there. So whenever you're ready, I will fire it up.
Okay.
Tell me.
Yep, we're good to go. Let's make this thing happen.
Here we go.
Anish, this is PFF mock draft. People wondering.
Alrighty. Here we go. Everything there. Start draft.
Okay.
Surprise. Cam Ward.
They got that one right. Cam Ward was at 32. I texted you about it.
Yes.
I don't know what.
Giants Will Campbell. That's the shock. First shock of the draft.
What?
Patriots Ashton Dente. Oh my goodness.
Why are we? Abdul Carter falls to 5 now. Hey now
we should have jumped
trade
up.
That's a 5 there.
We should do it to the Jets. Oh, this is
now Tyler Warren has fallen here. There he goes. Okay, 9. I was gonna say if we go back further.
If you need me to pause, let me know.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm Howie might trade up, but that's a little far. Jalen Walker. Cowboys got the receiver, Shamar Stewart.
Colston Loveland is still there. Oh, there goes Michael Williams.
Yep. Will Johnson. There's your boy.
Ezeiruaku's gone.
Should we think about trading up, or should we just sit for 32?
It's up to you. I mean, the only one you would really trade up for at this point is Malachi Starks, right?
I think so.
But I don't know what you would want to get to.
I know that's the risky part. Like how far do we wait?
And then we jump to 26, and then he goes to Minnesota or something. Then we're.
Yeah. And then the simulator is also saying, which you never know, but the need for the Steelers of a safety, so they might take him there.
Yeah. So should I resume?
I'm
down to trade up. But
let's trade up in this one. We can always run it back if we get done with this one quickly.
So you want to try to trade with the Steelers, or you want to?
Yeah, let's trade with the Steelers.
Okay. Let's see. So obviously,
let's
21.
screw our Western
32.
friends.
64. We're going to try 96 in the future. This is a big trade.
Whew.
We might have to do 64.
Yikes! I'm already regretting it if we have to trade it.
I could try 96 in next year's 2.
Yeah, let's try that.
Let's see what they think. Oh, might even be able to do it. Let's do the 3 first and see. Whoa!
Hey now.
32, 96, and a third, and you're going to get the compensatory pick from Milton Williams next year, so you still have a third.
Yep.
So you're pretty much using your third this year. You want to try and see if we can get a later pick back from them, or?
Yeah, we could. Like maybe 156?
They would
definitely do that. 123?
123. Oh.
What?
There we
All
go.
right. Hey.
I think we should offer this.
Yep.
Okay.
I love the back and forth. We
There
got
we
some
go.
people saying don't
There we
trade
go.
up. Some people don't do it.
Look at that. The first two right there.
Oh,
Walter Nolan, Malachi
you know,
Starks.
I just was spacing completely. I mean, I'm a big fan of Malachi Starks, but man, Walter Nolan. Oh my gosh. See, if this is me here in the draft, I think I gotta go Walter Nolan.
I was going to agree with you only because I like the day 2 and day 3 safety prospects.
Yeah.
A little bit more than I like the defensive line, like the interior defensive line guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you want Walter Nolan here, I'm all for it.
Okay. I prefer it.
All right.
So
Walter Nolan it is.
Let's do it. Yeah. Jalen Carter,
Walter
Walter
ahead
Nolan.
Ahead of the Chargers, who might be taking Walter Nolan too. If
there we go.
There, so.
Yep.
All right, Walter Nolan it is.
Apologies for people that are going Malachi Starks takes Starks because that was the whole idea initially. And it's like, well, actually, wait.
Josh loves him some Walter Nolan. Should I speed it up at this point? Because I don't think we're going to be.
Yeah, you could probably you could speed it up a little bit.
All right, we'll go to fast.
See, this is the part here too. Again, I appreciate the back and forth. Totally respect opinions, decisions, disagreements. Some people are going, no, that was a bad decision. Take Starks. Others definitely Walter Nolan.
Look at that. Look who's there now. Look who's there now.
Let's go. That's
Kevin Winston Jr. sitting right there.
29th
ranked player. That's a dream scenario for the Eagles.
That's you don't even think about it.
Because I'm 99% sure Kevin Winston, if he didn't get hurt, he'd probably be a first-round pick this year. So... And I don't think you'd be hearing so much about Nick Manwari. I think it'd be more of a Kevin Winston as safety too. So I feel like he's the pick here.
Yeah, I agree. There's not even a hesitation. I mean, if that gets to you there and you're like, because again, we were the question of if we take the safety in the first. So yeah, Kevin Winston.
Okay, but before I draft them here, do you think we should package some of these other picks and move up from 123 or 134?
Yes. I like the what is it? I like the 85-ish to 100 range.
All right.
So if we could maybe trade up in there. By the way, you could scroll down just a little bit if you want to, so we could see a few more names, for people, because there we go. Just in case for people that are wondering who the
I don't know why it's so
are.
small. The share tab kind of takes up a little bit of the screen. So
yes. Okay.
I could scroll through if people want, but I feel like just looking at the rank
just in terms of if we're going to trade up also is what I'm thinking too. Like we kind of plan for, because see, there's
so if we got our safety here, we got our safety and defensive line. So I think we'd be looking more like offensive line or corner probably for this next one, or even an edge,
or your tight end,
Stewart, or Mason Taylor. I still think he's rated absurdly low, but
70, 75-ish.
But 123 to 70-ish or so is a little. Marcus Bowe, the guy they hosted on the Top 30 visit. Elijah Roberts, another guy. Wyatt Millam, another guy.
See, there's multiple options. Okay, I like that. And then even
you want to
Charles Grant.
I think we take Kevin Winston here, and then we try and trade up into like the 80-ish range or so. All right, so I'll slow it down here. I mean, we'll draft Kevin Winston. So we got Walter Nolan, Kevin Winston.
I'm feeling great. If we get these first two, really good.
Shai Stewart's gone. Mason Taylor's gone to the Cowboys.
Wow, they got the receiver and a tight end.
That hurts. All right, so where are we thinking?
There we go. Maybe there.
Pause it. See?
Yeah.
Can you not see the players that are available? That's kind of...
I know that's the only thing that I hate whenever you do that is I don't think there's a way to see the board, but you can, They should have one tab where like the offer trade, and then you can go back to the board and scroll. But
it's just your picks, and then that's it.
The funny thing is, we're literally about to trade up in front of the Chargers again. So we did it earlier.
We're gonna get them. We're gonna get them upset.
Yeah, and you're like, all right, Philly's doing it again.
I mean, we can trade up for one of the offensive linemen. Marcus Bowe and Wyatt Millam are there. Or I didn't really see any corners when we were looking over from last time.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mason Taylor's gone, so that kind of ruined that. Not sure.
Real talk with G's. What's up, chat? I see Josh is picking a lineman again. What do you mean? Which one? What are you talking about?
Oh, you know who is available? My favorite pronunciation in the draft, Oluwafemi Oladejo.
See, that's what I was wondering. We saw him a second ago.
I
Like
believe
we've
he
taken
was
defensive
there.
players, but yeah, he was
there.
definitely there before. So he's
Keep
still
the defensive trend, and then we just go.
You know what?
and
I
maybe
think. Yeah, Jordan's saying end or edge from UCLA. So yeah,
see a lot of
Femi,
people saying edge. So yeah, all right, we'll see what we can do.
if we go interior defensive line, safety, edge for the first 3 picks,
we might have to package our whole draft to get here. Oh my gosh.
What happens if you do 123 and?
Well, we're gonna get extra picks next year in the 4th
That's
and
true.
5th, right?
You do like 4th and 5th for next year. Yeah, they're not biting. They're like, whatever.
Yikes.
Wow, that's a lot. KG, unfortunately, we can't go back to the players. The mock draft doesn't allow us to go to the board when you're trying to trade. It's kind of stupid, but man,
this is tough.
Costly trade up here.
Yeah. That work? I feel like because you already have 161, 164, 165 all like
we don't need all those
come
together.
And I mean, a future 4th is you still have 3 more picks in this draft. You basically got 2 defensive starters already.
Yeah,
I think this is fine, but I mean, you would still have 4 picks after this trade. So
okay,
if they
I like it. I like it. Let's do it. Let's get our edge.
So offer this. Offer it again. There you go. There we go. And he's the first player on the board. So I think that was a good
home
move.
Run.
All
Rank
right.
60, getting him at 85.
At this point, we probably got to speed it up, right? And just go straight to 161, or you want to try and move up? I think we just go to 161 and kind of take the value there as it is. I think.
Yeah, I could say we could trade up like
you could package maybe 164, 165 for like 130-ish, 140-ish.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just a little bit because I mean I don't want to pick 3 of those like all clustered together.
Okay, so we'll take Oluwafemi Oladejo here, another player that's visited Philadelphia.
I like it,
and we'll see what happens. I mean, those first 3 picks, if that happens,
oh yeah,
how could you not? How could you not love that?
Fantastic.
2 of the offensive linemen just went, so that's
replace Milton Williams with Walter Nolan. Add that to the D line.
Replace C.J. Gardner-Johnson with Kevin Winston, and then
come on.
Replace Brandon Graham / Josh Sweat with Oladejo. That's looking pretty good right here.
See, Owen's saying this is the perfect mock draft so far.
Hey, I'll pause it here. Just see if this is even a possible jump for us.
Let's see.
Oh, it is.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
It's just don't know who's there, which sucks, but we'll go with it, right?
Yeah.
Just let me see if this would work too. Yeah, that works. So let's just do those.
There we go.
Kyle Williams, Savion Jones, Trevor Etienne, Benjamin Urasek. They have a little bit of Georgia connections.
Okay. Yep.
With the assistant quarterback there. So if you want to get a tight end, he's there.
Possibility.
Seth McLaughlin. Cameron Jackson would be kind of like a Jordan Davis insurance. Robert Longerbeam is a guy that was at their local day.
Oh, yeah. They had a lot of the Rutgers guys, didn't they?
You want to get a Georgia guy? Tyrion Ingram Dawkins is the guy that they reportedly met with, right? But he's more of an interior defensive lineman, but we already hit both of those. So Tyler Barron is another edge that they had. I think tight end might be the play here with Urasek. But
I think so too. I mean,
okay, so let's grab a tight end. Add somebody to the offense, right?
Yeah, we definitely have to go offense. So
okay,
yeah.
So I think Urasek's the pick, and then maybe an offensive lineman here. We'll see.
Yep. See who falls at 161.
I like this. This will be. I'll be a happy, completely not biased reporter if this happens.
It's yeah, 100%. We see if it gets a grade because it'll probably still give us like a B grade, but I'm
I
a fan.
like Seth McLaughlin here. He would be a lot higher if he wasn't injured, but I mean, they really don't have a center unless you want to run Landon Dickerson back out. I mean, a backup center. So
Yeah.
that's a little.
And there's not a whole lot of
Kobe King's the
offensive
linebacker that they had
players.
in, but it's just like, yeah, the offense. It's tight ends, which we had already. There's some wide
Yeah.
receivers, but
See, that's where I feel like you look at all the visits and you see what they've looked at so far. And again, mock draft way different than real life. So you could have the
Jalen
players fall.
Travis is kind of stands out to me a little bit
You know, honestly, I'd probably take him.
because I
Like
think, I mean,
it's the mock draft's gonna say it's a reach, but like that's our last pick there. And if you're talking about a
but
Stoutland project,
it's a
and
very Eagles pick, and I mean,
yeah,
Nick Sirianni has the Iowa State connections with Matt Campbell, that was former teammate who's the head coach there. Like they know about these guys, so I think Jalen Travis would probably be. I mean, he's your swing tackle basically in development to eventually be a Lane Johnson replacement or however you want to view him. I feel like he's the ideal dart throw for the Eagles in this range.
yeah,
All right, so
I like that one.
Jalen Travis it is to end it. Now we
I'm all.
wait for our grade, right? And we just
Yeah, you can move it all
okay.
the way up. Yeah,
There we go.
normal.
See, I never even mess with the speed, so I don't even know how this works.
Okay. Yeah, if
I'm
it
just
didn't allow me
turbo.
to do that, then I would be like, we're never slowing it down because I can't remember which mock draft. There may be a couple of them, but some of the mock drafts you can't change it once you set it, and so then you're just like, all right, we're gonna wait for forever. All right, come on, let's see. What do we get here? What grade are they going to give us?
A plus, A,
Okay.
B.
Hey.
See, you called it out. A minus overall. I'll take that.
Yeah. They think it's an F for Jalen Travis, but come on. It's 161.
Can I zoom out on this a little bit? I don't know what's going on here. I feel like it's very big on my screen.
Yeah. It's easier to read that way, but it's a little harder to get it all on the screen. But I would be really happy with that draft, quite honestly.
Top 34% of Eagles drafts. Well, in my eyes, you just get your obviously Milton Williams replacement, your CJ Gardner Johnson replacement, your Josh Sweat / Brandon Graham replacement, your eventual Dallas Goedert replacement if they trade him. Or that's honestly something else that we could have done because I know for a fact from using the simulator so much that the Colts will give up like their 4th round pick or so for Dallas Goedert. So we could have did that to have more than 5 picks. And then Jalen Travis is like your shot in the dark. Let's see if is that better if I do that. Get everything in there.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
John was saying control minus.
I didn't want to make it too small. Yeah. There we go. Lots of trades. Very Howie in that regard.
Yeah, because he's average.
We didn't get any future picks though. We didn't add any, which is a very Howie thing.
I know that'll be the interesting part though, because like I've thought about this draft and he has 20 selections already. So is he? I mean, because you're right. It's very Howie. It's you come out of the draft going like, oh hey, you got all these 12 picks or whatever for next year, and you could walk away and say, oh, now the Eagles have 16 draft selection for that. It could be something insane. But there's also an element to it. It's like there's only so many guys that you, for one, can pick, should pick, whatever, are going to make the roster and have contributing roles. So like, there's a part of it where I'm like, package up, give like we did in this draft. You had 2, 3, 4 picks given away and move up and get guys that are going to make an immediate impact. So I don't know. I mean, it's true. Like, is how we can go into the draft and say, okay, what we got. 5 selections, and we traded away how many extras in addition to the picks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because we got back 123 in that first trade. So.
Yeah. That's a lot. But if those are the players, I mean, personally, I'm feeling good about it.
So I feel like they get aggressive like they did for Cooper DeJean, where it's like they had, what was it, like 50 and 53 or something like that. And they were like, listen, Cooper DeJean's our guy. Like, we don't care if we lose 2 second-round picks, which is a luxury for for this day and age in the NFL, especially given last year's draft where a lot of people thought similar to this year, where it's like that's where the value is that day 2 or so. So the fact they gave up one of those second-round picks just to move up to get Cooper DeJean, I feel like they would do something similar to get a guy like Oladejo or Walter Nolan or whatever. If they feel their guy is there, they're not going to hesitate to try and make a move for him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like that one.
Should we do another without any trades, or you want to?
It's just
do
not
like a Dallas Goedert trade beforehand, and then
see.
go
That's
from
what I was
there?
gonna say. I think the Dallas Goedert. We should do the Dallas Goedert one, but it's almost like I sometimes I talk myself into it. I was like, okay, we're gonna do no trades. We're just gonna take who we get there. But like, it's just it's so much not a Howie thing. Like if you were another team.
So I think we should do the Dallas Goedert trade before the draft. Get that extra 4th round pick.
Yep.
Maybe see what happens at 32, and then maybe trade up in the second, like from using our 3rd round pick to move up into the second, where we have 2 seconds instead of getting aggressive in the first. I don't know. It's up to you. I like messing around. Like this is literally what we're doing right now is literally what NFL teams do, because the Panthers had their like coverage of the draft a couple years ago where they released like a documentary after the fact showing their whole draft process, and it was literally like Matt Rule was the head coach at the time, and he was like, this team takes this here. What are we doing here? If this team's like they literally run through mock drafts for the next week and a half, like all of us do sitting at home.
Yeah, just run through simulators.
That's what NFL teams do. They have their own boards. They have their own simulator like programs that they use, and that's how it goes.
The number of hours that I'll sit here and whether it's on the computer or on my phone, just like run another one. It's just
it's the best.
Maybe a little.
I mean, personally, I think Pro Football Focus has the best one out there. I know you have to pay, I think, for like the 7 rounds or whatever, but to me, it's totally worth it, because if you don't know about a player, when you click on them, you can see not only their grades and their stats and stuff like that, but now they have like a draft profile there. You can kind of see so much information about players that you don't know about. So while you're mock drafting, you're actually learning about players that you may not know about too. So I think I'm big on like clean layouts and not a ton of ads and things like that. So to me, it's worth it.
Yes. And if there's some random member from PFF that's looking for, advertising or endorsements or anything like that, feel free to hit us up, because we would gladly tell people to check out the simulator. Running out of time.
Should have did that about a month.
It should have been a little bit earlier, but if you want to back pay or just hit us up here, because we can get free advertising.
Mock draft simulator is going to be great.
So look out now.
We can do this time. So we'll do the Dallas Goedert trade. We traded up last time from 32. Maybe we see what teams are interested in 32 and trade back, possibly, to give kind of both sides of the coin.
Okay. I like that.
So we'll do this, enter the draft this way. We'll make the Dallas Goedert trade, because I know, is this a little too small for people? I don't want to. Should I zoom back in a little bit
for me, yeah. If you could zoom in, that'd be good.
I'll zoom back in. Is that good? 80%?
Maybe slightly more.
Okay, 90.
There we go.
So I feel like the Colts are an obvious like connection because of Shane Steichen. So this is why like it's my go-to for like a potential Dallas Goedert trade.
I like that.
I think 117. Yeah, they normally do this. So I would just do this trade, give us an extra 4th round pick, and then we can just start the draft from there. I think that would be good. And we're just going to let it roll to 32 and see what offers come in. Maybe a quarterback falls. Or
this is so far a little bit more realistic. Abdul Carter falling further.
Is it going a little fast? Should I slow it down
a
little bit? It's going a little. There we go.
The first couple picks were more realistic. I'll just say that.
Scroll it back up. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Shador, Mason Graham, Will Campbell, Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter falls to the Raiders.
He fell a little further, but the
He's
fallen.
What's
3,
going on?
I can see that. I don't know, they're kind of strange with that, but who did Dallas take? I missed Dallas.
Dallas took Matthew Golden, which is a guy that I see a lot of in mock drafts.
Yep.
Him or McMillan seems like the popular pick for Dallas. If they want to go receiver, it seems like.
Kenneth Grant, Mar Stewart, Buka.
Malachi Stark's gone.
Okay. Green Bay.
Worry. Safeties back to back.
Wow.
Walter Nolan.
25. That's the guy. Colston Love 27. Man, we could have actually gotten that. See, like that's not a bad trade up. If Colston Loveland's available at 27.
Yeah. And the last time the Eagles picked at 32, they traded with the Colts, right? Oh, look. Luther Burden is there.
Tyler's just willing this thing to happen. Just putting it out there.
Omar Norman Lott. Gray Zabel. Wow, they moved up Omar Norman a lot, like very high in their rankings.
Oh, geez, yeah, because I guess the average draft is 54, but he's at 27.
Trey Amos, Nick Scorton. So there's a couple guys that have been linked to the Eagles that are still
Mm-hmm.
here. If they drop back a couple picks, Tyleek Williams, Maxwell Hairston, Donovan Jackson. There's a lot of guys that I think like a trade back would make sense here. So let's see. Oh, the Giants. The teams that are interested: Giants, Patriots at 38, Chargers at 55. I don't want to drop back too much, right? I think 34 or
Yeah, no, I
38
think,
should be.
yeah.
Should we continue to steal from the Giants and see what they're going to be willing to?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
To
if our divisional foes want to say, sure, let's trade and give some draft capital, absolutely. I like
your
that.
team owner will veto it. Okay, 99. No, maybe we can
I
give
like
them.
99. Give them
You want to just try
165.
165? Break up. You don't like that 164, 165 back to back, do you?
No, it
You
just
always
throws
want
me
to get.
off. I just don't like the
I
whole
know. I
like.
know.
Why am I gonna? There's
When
just
I
then I'm
when I
looking
do
at the
my
draft
Twitter
board.
poll mock draft where it's like I give options for each pick or whatever, like when it gets to those picks, it's terrible because it's like the guy that like the three guys that lost the previous poll and then one more guy. So it's
Yeah, you
just
just keep
like
throwing in
it
just a
kind of
random
ruins it.
person.
So it seems like they're going to take this. So I think this is huge. Jumping
I
up,
love the like I
dropping
said.
back 2 spots and then jumping up
Yes,
what
and
66 spots or whatever.
for sure,
That's
yeah, and the like I said, the 80 to like 100 range. It just
yeah.
feels like there's so many good viable candidates there. So we'll have 96 and 99. So
Love it.
yeah, let's do it.
Offer this, and they took it. John Mara, very
He
upset again once
fell
again.
for it again, man. Poor guy. He got
So now we
Shador at
see they're going to
3.
take a
Now he's going to
quarterback, right?
take.
Oh no, James Pierce. Okay,
Okay, so Shador and James
Luther
Pierce is
Burden.
what they go
There we
for.
go. All right. I mean, we could even trade back again. To be honest, Trey Amos, Nick
Who's
Scorton, all these
what
guys
are the
still there.
trades offered? What how far back?
So the Seahawks at 50.
Oh, yeah.
And then
That's
59. That might be a little bit too much of a.
that's too much.
Okay. I mean, we could try to offer somebody, but I don't know. Saints could come up for a quarterback, maybe. I don't want to get too crazy where we have 90 picks either.
I
so.
know they have so many. I think for me it's either Nick Scorton or Trey Amos.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I'm a Nick Scorton kind of guy, but Trey Amos is really good too, and then you just solidify the secondary for so long. I feel like
Yeah.
Amos is probably the guy from. I mean, like I would be surprised. It feels like he's getting a lot of hype, especially recently, where he might not even make it to 32. So the fact that
Yeah.
he's there at 34, I feel like you just forget about the whole Kelee Ringo, Eli Ricks conversation. Just get your guy, and you got your starting trio in the secondary for a while.
I like it. Yeah, I'd go with that.
Okay.
Wojak Harrison is still there, but we got Trey Amos.
Yes, he is
so.
still. They dropped him down a ton. So I don't know. Their rankings change like daily. So Trey Amos is the pick, correct?
I love it. Let's do it.
Okay. Now we do have the ammo to move back up, but I mean, 3 picks on day 2 is.
I know. I don't know. I could see
and
that.
We have
though.
the extra 4th rounder.
Maybe
moving up again, or
maybe we wait. Let's go to 64, and then we can pick 64. But I'm kind of thinking maybe we trade up at like 75-ish range, maybe 80.
Okay, I like it. Eagle one said, "I'll gift more for Trey." Hey, we picked them, so that means
Maxwell Hairston goes to the Cowboys.
Should I speed it up a little bit? We're gonna just go to 64.
Yeah,
right?
you might. Yeah, go a little bit more.
I don't want to drive the people crazy. Siobhan Revel is like such a fascinating prospect to me because I feel like if he didn't have the injury, he'd be a guaranteed 1st-round pick. But it's like then you get like the Sidney Jones situation where it's just like
that terrifies me to death.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Scary.
Anytime there's like some injury concern issues there, I just.
I mean, look, Kevin Winston is staring right at us once again. After we got our corner, we can get our safety and just have.
Man, you do both of those guys, yeah.
The entire secondary, or Makuba, if you want to just switch it up and go with a different safety, and not have to worry about the injuries. But I think Kevin Winston is He already played at Penn State. I feel like he's a very Eagles pick. So.
I know. Yeah, I know that we just took him, but I mean, same thing. If we got the draft and it fell to this point, I just don't
just
see
the value. I mean,
take
29th ranked player.
Yeah.
Even if you go by your ADP, he's up there. So.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. And now I'm going to slow it down a little bit again, right? Because you might want to move up.
Yeah, yeah. Eagle won with a 10 bomb, 10 more Philly Special Show memberships for drafting the Trey Amos. So appreciate that.
I was just joking, but I appreciate it.
Matt with a bomb. Let's go.
All right. Maybe we'll trade with the 49ers because to jump the Cowboys.
Oh, yes. Anything to do that.
75.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So 75. Try and keep 96, trade 99, or?
Yeah, I kind of like keeping.
Oh, that's not good.
What if we do?
We can trade a future pick if you want.
What if we do the future third?
Future third. They might even be able to jump from
Maybe do 117.
No.
Almost.
Oh.
What if you did 164 or 161? Would they also instead of 134?
Oh,
they would.
Okay. So let's do 168. See what they do. Oh, there we go.
99% chance. Yes,
I think that's it.
That's the play.
Okay. Jump up another. Whatever. My math is terrible. 42 spots. I don't know.
Yep. Roughly 25 and 17.
Well,
actually, you were on the dot. That was 42.
We're gonna have the same draft over again.
I mean, I think it's just too obvious.
I know he's there, but I mean, Tate Ratledge is right there too. Mason Taylor's there. I feel like maybe we go offense with one of those instead of going.
Yeah, if we just got
Joe, and maybe we go like a Tyler Barron or somebody like that later on the edge.
Yeah, because we get corner safety.
Because we saw last time the guards and the tight ends were not falling to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's fair.
And again, because we might have one of these other offensive, like a Wyatt Millum or a Marcus Bowe, fall to 96 or 99. There's just no tight ends remotely close to Mason Taylor. And I know, I just don't want to do too much. That's literally the same draft that we just did.
I know.
So I think Mason Taylor or Tate Ratledge. But we did the Dallas Goedert trade, so we know in this scenario, he's definitely not there.
That's true.
So I feel like Mason Taylor.
I was going to say, in this scenario, because Goedert is for sure not there, I think we got to take Mason Taylor. Okay. If Goedert was there, then we might go like, maybe take one. But
and I think we just rolled a 96 now, right?
Yeah, I agree. See who's available.
See, and then Terrence Ferguson went right after that, so there was no way a tight end was getting to 96. So
no chance.
I think that was the play. Hey, look, there you go. Oladejo is
See,
still
we
there.
Didn't even need it. People that are saying should have taken Oladejo, now we take Oladejo.
So now we take him.
That is an automatic.
That we run that card
Thank you.
And then now we take Tate Ratledge. And
there we go.
Right? I mean, I think Tate Ratledge over.
I mean, I think you have to. You got.
I mean, Harold Fannin would have still been there, but Mason Taylor should better.
That's true. Yeah.
Overall player. That. We'll scroll down a little bit, but it feels like Ratledge is. You literally just slide him in right guard, start immediately.
That is fantastic.
Jaden Blue, your boy.
That's my boy.
Gunnar Helm was still.
Can't take them all. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. I think there's not even a question.
Yeah. Okay. And I feel like we kind of just let it go to 134 too, right? I feel like
I do too. We filled almost all the needs
far
that we're looking for. They're just falling to us.
Yeah, that was about as good of a board as you could have asked.
Okay, we're cooking now. So Eagles. Anybody that's watching, you just got to trade Dallas Goedert. You got just a little extra capital, draft capital, move up.
Oh, look,
it'd be difficult to trade Dallas
Goedert.
There. Oh, there's not a question in the world.
I'm just looking a little
this draft. You don't need to. You are just wasting time.
I'm just adding a little bit to the discussion.
That's fair. That's fair. You could definitely just waste people's time. Scroll down. Let them see it.
All right, Jaden Blue's the pick, guys. All right, Josh doesn't give me an option.
Feel free to, speculate. But look, at 134, if Jaden Blue fell to that point,
he's all in the chat. Jaden Blue.
Man, I'm loving this draft now. Mason Taylor for your tight end. Jaden Blue is an offensive weapon.
All right, so now we kind of just could go with whatever, right? I feel like we kind of held.
Yeah, I think so. Did we didn't draft interior D line yet?
We did not. Okay. Ty Robinson is a very good player. Like he's more of a Milton Williams replacement, where Cameron Jackson is more of like Jordan Davis insurance. So it might be Ty Robinson might be the move.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think probably.
Or
Well,
moving
do we go?
Tyrion Ingram Dawkins inside. It seems like what a lot of people think he might do.
I know he's a Georgia player.
Kobe King is someone to keep in mind for the next pick because we haven't taken a linebacker yet.
So this is all right. So like personal thoughts, preference here. I probably would go with Ty Robinson, but I almost feel like the Ingram Dawkins is an Eagles pick. Like I think if they were going between those two, they would be like the Georgia connection. I mean, he's going to play with Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith. Like that's just if you're wanting a player that's got potential, you develop into something. I kind of think the Ingram Dawkins, Ingram Dawkins is the next Dawkins. We're moving back to safety.
We just want to see Dawkins on a player's nameplate again.
Okay, I could get that. We already got Trotter
out there. We'll draft you, but you got to take the Ingram out of your last name. We're just going with Dawkins.
It can't be. It's just got to be the Dawkins.
All right, so we're going with Tyrion Ingram Dawkins here, correct?
Yeah. And we'll have a pick 3 picks later, so we'll get somebody else.
I think Kobe King should be the next one, but I mean, it's
look,
he just went.
Come on.
There we go.
Did I screw it? I probably did. I screwed it up. Should we take Kobe King first and then take Ingram Dawkins? He might have still been available.
Their rankings at the end get a little wonky. We might be able to find somebody else.
Yeah.
Let's see.
People can blame me. Everybody let me know. My fault.
Cody Simon.
Let me hear it.
Cody Lindenberg, the linebacker. Jalen Travis. Danny Stutzman, my guy.
Here's your guy, Danny.
I mean, at this point, Kyle Williams, the value might be too good. It might be like another like Quez Watkins situation where they just throw a dart late day 3 and see if a receiver eventually gives you anything. But I mean, Seth McLaughlin or Cameron Jackson kind of seem. I know we just did another interior defensive lineman, but Cameron Jackson's a different player. I feel like he's more like a nose tackle, Jordan Davis insurance. So him or Seth McLaughlin seems like at this point, whatever this player gives you is kind of a bonus, So it's
yeah.
Seth McLaughlin's more of like a developmental guy, whereas Cameron Jackson gives you more of like a player that can relieve Jordan Davis immediately and not have to force Thomas Booker, who's a little bit on the smaller end, to kind of back him up. So
yeah, I would go.
I'm letting you make the call.
Okay, I would lean towards I think Cameron Jackson.
Okay,
more immediate. We'll take that.
Kind of mad we missed on Kobe King, but hey, it happens. Sometimes in the draft,
it's my fault. I know. It
doesn't go. I mean, he was way down there, but now we know what to watch for.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020. But yeah, I was like, okay, Ingram Dawkins would have been available. Philly native. So now we know. Do not let Josh take over when we're on a hot streak. We were cooking until that point.
All right, I'm gonna zoom out again.
All right, let's see what we get.
A, B minus, A plus. There we go.
Oh.
A, Jaden Blue, B plus for an A. We did better this time.
Let's go. Top 30.
We got a better grade this time. Let me know if that's too far out or not.
I can see it. They're kind of small on my screen.
Trying to get the
yeah, we can see those.
The full view.
So
I think this is it. This might be
between this draft and the other one.
Might have to put a poll up on Twitter. Which one was better?
Yeah, well, yeah, because I was saying now I kind of like this one better.
I think I do so. I do too. I mean, you're not giving up as many picks. You're getting, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players instead of the 5 that we got in the other one. You only gave up 1 future pick. We didn't give up the future 4th like we did in the other one.
Yeah.
So this, and I feel like you just fill so many more, like check so many more boxes in this draft. You got the extra guys. You didn't just fill the needs. You got the extra guys like a Jaden Blue and Ingram Dawkins and Cameron Jackson.
Yeah, like Remo said, I like it, but trading DG hurts. Philly native, I would buy a ticket to every game with this lineup.
Yes.
I mean, I agree because like you said, you're getting starter, a very good
your first
rotational
5
guy,
picks might all be
starter.
starters at by the
Yes,
end of the
very,
season.
very, very likely, very potential. So 4 of the 5 for sure, but could be all 5. And then Jaden Blue, like he won't be a starter, but honestly, this is my thought on Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue, if he's there at that point, we've already gotten 5 potential starters. It's just a luxury pick that you can afford to say, yes, we're picking a guy who can be a game breaker, and like put him in there for defense is tired. Saquon needs to spell just a little bit. Even some screen passes, we say like, yes, the screens don't work necessarily, but line him up in the slot, maybe run some screens. He can catch, he can receive. And then you got a project in Ingram Dawkins, Cameron Jackson helping out. That's
Jaden Blue reminds me
good.
a lot of Keaton Mitchell a couple of years ago, who I was super high on. I think I had like a 3rd round grade. He ended up going undrafted, so I looked like a moron. But then when he eventually did play for the Ravens, he averaged over 8 yards a carry and was like just an explosive game breaker. And then unfortunately he got hurt. Hasn't necessarily been the same since, but like Jaden Blue has that explosiveness where you could literally give him 5 touches a game and teams are going to feel threatened by him. So
yeah,
I think in Philadelphia, especially like you said, when they're pounding away with Saquon and Jalen Hurts and things like that, it's just like now you just throw that guy in for a couple of carries, and Will Shipley, who's another tough runner that can kind of be used in the passing game too. I feel like that would be a pretty scary running back rotation.
Man, sign me up for this draft here. Whatever we need to do to make it happen.
Should we do one more with no trades, or are we calling it quits here?
Why not? We'll do one more. Real quick.
One more, turbo,
real quick.
no trades.
Then I got to jump off, but yes, one more. No trades.
I don't want to keep you too
this
long.
is not going to be near as good. I'm already going to just guarantee it. But one,
yes,
the fact that we have no trades, just take what the simulator gives us here. Unless, all right, no trades. But if Cam Ward just so happens to be somehow at 32, I
would say, did you want to mess with the settings a little bit, get a little crazy, put randomness in like in the middle, or I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, let's do that because we've had the exact same. So no trades, but you can move the randomness to the middle.
Okay, there we go.
And let's do the public and PFF board like not the middle, but like maybe a couple bumped up from all the way from the public, like there we go. That's good.
Okay, we're good right there.
Yep, I like it.
Turbo is good, or you want me to slow it down so people can see?
Let's slow it down just for the first round, and then we'll speed it up. I'm just curious to see how ridiculous this thing gets.
Just so we can see, I don't know. Jackson Dart go first overall?
Yeah, I was going to say Titans on the clock is, all right, we got our guy.
All right, let's do it.
Come on. Who are they going to go with?
Oh, wait, I started. That would help.
How long
there
is it
you go, Mason Graham.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, how many picks does it take before it actually is random? It's the first pick.
Travis Hunter.
Okay, I could see those.
Vegas takes a quarterback, maybe. Oh man, these quarterbacks are really fun.
Oh my goodness, this is very. GNT at 7.
Ezeiruaku at 8. Oh, maybe we made a mistake.
This has gotten to be incredibly random now.
We'll have some fun with this one, right? Or
we certainly are.
Or should I start it over?
This is going to be good. This is going to be more of a comical one, I suppose.
Should I speed it up at this point?
Yeah, maybe just one notch because I'm still curious to see how they like.
I can leave it. We're halfway there.
Okay.
I saw one.
Kramer says, "If the Eagles draft Blue, I will buy you a cheesesteak, Josh." Okay. All right.
Hold him to that. Write it down. Screenshot it.
We can get a cheesesteak from
Angelo's or John's roast pork.
Well, see, I think John's roast pork because I haven't had John's roast pork yet. That's one that I need to. They were closed when we were there last time.
Can anybody else vouch for that, please? I've been trying to tell Josh John's roast pork is the play for cheesesteaks. Can anybody else agree with me?
Cam Ward to LA. That's such a late pick. They're like, oh, unanimous first pick. And it's like, yeah, I go 26, 27.
Honestly, the people that are available, not that crazy.
It's basically the same. Like everyone in front of us was wild.
The order was all wonky, but
okay.
I feel you got to do James Pierce Jr., right? Like everything else is. a little bit of
Yeah.
a reach at this point, and we're not doing any trades. So
Yeah. If this draft was right now, we would definitely trade back, I think.
yeah,
Because we could get a haul for someone who's wanting
we could
Shador.
trade back and get Shador Sanders, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyler Booker is very, very low. I'm assuming because of his athletic score, but
I think you're right. We got to.
he usually goes first round pick. But I think
Yeah.
James Pierce might
James
be the
Pierce
guy.
is the. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Get our edge.
Speed it up
Now
now.
you can. Yeah. Now you can speed it up.
All right. All the way, or
Sure. Yeah.
here we go now.
Okay. 64.
Another edge. Another edge. All the edges.
We don't need that. We already got the edge. That's the
Demetrius
issue.
Knight, rated very highly. I'm not high on him at all. He's an older linebacker. Like, not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily either.
Makuba, maybe? Or Ratledge.
Take our safety. Or
Mason Taylor.
guard.
Shamar Turner. Shamar Turner's a weird one, right? It feels like some mock drafts I see, he's in like the 20s, and then some it's just like end of the third round. I'm like, how is this?
Yeah,
that's
like all
quite
over.
a range. It's just really.
Yeah, some guys like, they're for sure within like what 5 picks, 10 picks.
Yeah.
But then there's some of them that are like, what in the world?
I think Makuba, maybe. It's up to you.
Yeah. Let me go safety again.
If you
We're
want to
taking
do Mason
safety,
Taylor. Maybe
No,
we
let's
can do Gunnar
let's
Helm or
take
something like
safety.
that. Okay.
Let's
Makuba.
maybe we get lucky with Harold Fannin.
We didn't get Winston to fall to us a third time, unfortunately.
Seemed like
Hey,
it was
we
a
got some
lock on
offensive linemen,
Bagley,
though.
but let's go. Okay, we need that because we were questioning of who we're actually getting.
We got our edge and our safety. So, I mean,
Okay.
Alfred Collins would be fun, but he's not. I don't think that's the pick. So
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
either.
Miller might probably go here just because of the visit.
Mhm.
He kind of has like the guard tackle versatility. So
Yep. Or if you want Harold Fannin, that's your guy. That's your guy.
I just don't know who else. Like, I don't think a tight end's going to make it to 134. Whereas like there might be an offensive lineman that's.
I know that's the thought.
I think
There's
I
maybe
think
somebody
Harold
you get.
Fannin.
And the ultimate question is, you got Harold Fannin, and if you have to sell a little bit or kind of take a lesser offensive lineman, so to speak, you got Jeff Stoutland.
Yes.
So
That guy's he's pretty good at coaching, right?
a little bit, yeah.
So I think Harold Fannin.
I
would be right.
like Fannin, yeah.
Okay, cool. And we have one mock draft with my guy in there.
Perfect. We needed one at least. Wow, that was a lot of picks. Forget how far
big.
that goes.
I don't know if Howie's going to be sitting with his hands. In his pocket.
Maybe not.
I like Alfred Collins. I see a couple people saying what's wrong with Collins, but he's more of just a nose tackle. He's not really a Milton Williams replacement. So, I mean, if you want to draft a guy that's probably not going to play a ton of snaps, I don't know if that's the best play for your third round pick.
Yeah. And considering we don't know what's happening with Goedert, but
my screen went black on my side, but I think it's good.
I can see you. Yeah.
Cameron Jackson's there again. Ty Robinson, if we want to go interior. I think from
Yeah.
the way he plays, Ty Robinson is a very Clint Hurt kind of player. He's kind of gritty, willing to do all the dirty work and stuff. So I think he's a fit. But if you want to go in a different direction, that's
I'm good with that.
cool with me. Okay.
I like it.
There's really
Philly
no offensive
native?
lineman. Chase Lunt might actually make it there. So
Yeah.
it's the
Philly
other
native,
offensive
welcome to Let's Run It. Let's go. Back to the membership. Shout out to you.
We got an edge already, right? We did. We got James Pierce.
Yeah, James.
It's all all the drafts are melding into one at
Oh,
this
I know.
point.
Yeah, that's what happens. Especially
We
late
didn't
at
get a
night when I've
corner.
done 20 of them. I'm like, I already got that guy, and then I get down to the end of it, and I'm like, I took 3 edges, and I didn't take anybody else.
So corner, offensive line, and linebacker, I would view as our safety. I mean, our needs right now. Logan Brown is there as far as top of the board.
It's kind of getting interesting here. We need to see
Kobe King. We can get Kobe King this
trades
time
up.
and not risk losing him, but it's up to you.
Yeah, let's get Kobe King because we've got 3 picks over the next 7, so we're basically gonna get anybody.
Oh, Logan Brown's still there.
Okay. I think you got to get offensive line at this point, right? Again, we're going to pick right after
I was
this.
just trying to see if
let's-
there is any other offensive lineman, but yeah, Logan Brown.
Yep. And then
Well, oopsie. And then we do Quinn Ewers to keep the quarterback factory going.
I guess.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. If you do want to get running back, since your boy Jaden Blue's not here, Khalil Mullings, former linebacker turned running back. He's very fun to watch. Probably my favorite running back to watch in the draft. But
really,
corner, not the most inspiring list here.
Not a whole lot of those.
Marcus Yarns is kind of a Jaden Blue clone in a way because of the receiving ability. Not as fast, but Nick Nash, big receiver. Yeah, not an inspiring list right here. This is why we trade these picks and
yeah, you would do it a lot earlier. Yep. Now there's not many left that we're thinking.
This is rough. This is a rough look.
Yikes.
So we need corner, and then
man, that's
get creative with the other one.
Do you take a?
I think we're putting too much thought into this.
We are, yes, for sure. You take a Tyler Barron, but we don't. We already got our edge. There's not.
Yeah. Donald Fortune just to get us a corner, and then Khalil Mullings, or maybe Mullings first.
Yeah, probably so. Just the rankings on there. Yeah.
Everybody go watch.
I like
Mullings.
that.
Like I said, former linebacker turned running back. So.
Best case scenario here.
All right. This one definitely not as fun as the other one. Maybe we should have just stopped at 2.
Yeah, I think we should have ended on the last one because now it's going to be like, hey, here's your C grade or whatever, and definitely not going to be feeling about.
We took a lot of top of the board.
That's
guys.
true. That's true. Yeah.
The Kobe King pick will probably be knocked down a bit, but the other ones I think will all be pretty relatively high.
Wojak says this exercise shows why Howie will be trading. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, no, they don't like this one at all. Oh man, we got a B plus in the end. The last couple picks made up for it.
We did it. All right. Those middle rounds, those other ones, C, C, D, C.
Hey, why are you on Harold Fanning? Ty Robinson is good. You know what, PFF? I don't like that.
I mean, I don't mind those picks, but yeah, we take a look at this
draft
draft versus the other ones. It's
that second draft was perfection.
Oh yeah, perfection versus. I mean, comparatively, this one is like. Or the other one, the second draft is like acing the test, and then there's no curve for this other one where this one fails miserably. Like this is.
I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Right, I think we're done with the mocks now.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, cool,
sweet. All right, let me see. How do I get back to? Apologies, everybody. Hang on 1 second.
I'm sweating over here, getting worked up with these mock drafts.
I know. Got to get the screen back to how it was.
By the way,
there we go.
Phillies won. Let's go, Phils.
Hey now. Well, that was fun.
That was very
fun. I do
fun.
probably need to run. Yes, I do. I definitely need to run.
Oh, sorry.
But
I got you yelled at with that third run. You agreed to the third one, though.
I did. It was my fault. Yes, but I do definitely need to run.
So, Miss Davis, I'm sorry.
It was fun as always. Yes. Make sure to like and subscribe, everybody. We appreciate you guys. That was a blast. And again, like Wojak said, that's the exercise to show why Howie will be trading and that we hate just sitting there for the draft picks that they have. But there will also be probably guys that, fall in other elements that we didn't see for the draft. So about a week-ish away, a little bit longer, but just about a week. So can't wait. Cannot wait. We'll have predictions, more stuff, other interviews, but make sure to go follow Anthony, as I said too, at DiBona NFL. And until next time, we will see you guys. Go Birds.